Yeah, that's why also, is it hard as an actor too if you get an iconic role and then you are sort of always remembered for being that guy in that thing? Like how much of a is it a hard transition to go from an iconic role to going into your next role where people still want to talk about the big movie that you were in just a year or two ago?
That hasn't been a big thing for me. I think I tend to take a bit of time between things, and also I don't know, when like the first thing I did kind of popped off pretty hot, and then everyone's like sending me like this is psychotic interesting characters. And I was like, well, I think I'll do a musical with Woody Allen. You know what I mean? And wear a plaid jacket and do a dance number in Harry Winston's like
switch it up.
Yeah, and then what's really weird is I did that first. I played this lawyer. I played a young lawyer in the Larry Flint film, right? Mm-hmm. Which and off of that, I get this distinct vibe of like, hey, the next John Grisham movie is like the way you were talking in court in that movie, you would kill in this John Grisham thing as the young lawyer or whatever. And I remember I met Francis Coppola was going to direct The Rainmaker, this Grisham thing, and I was up for it. I didn't get it. Matt Damon got it, and I didn't do some ballsy thing and like say that's not for me. I was like Francis Coppola. I was like, I want this, thing. But when I was talking to him about it, and thinking to myself a little bit like, this seems a little square, but it's like Francis Coppola, you know what I mean? And it's like, and he, when I was talking to him about it, he was like, well, what are you what are you working on? What are you interested in? And I was telling him about my friend David, who had written this American History X, and that we were working on that. I was kind of telling him what we were trying to do with it and how we wanted to make it as this kind of like guerrilla, thing. And he was like, you should do that. You should do that immediately. And I was like, well, I was like, don't cancel, don't, I still want to do this with you. He's like, no, I think you should do like the way you're talking about that. And he said, if you do that now, they'll never know what to do with you. Like they'll never be able to put you in a box,
right? Kind
of, because that's just, if you pull that off, and I kind of was like, I did have an agent at the time. He was really old school, really funny, and he was kind of like, he didn't understand that. He was like, find something big. Let's find something big director, big film, big franchise, whatever. And I remember thinking like, nah, I think I'm going to do this. And we knocked that off. And the funny thing is you say, well, does that become a trap? That wasn't a trap. That was like a liberation. It's almost like doing that part. It was like a permanent hand grenade on, it was like, well, we never know what to expect now, right? So it becomes like liberation at a certain point. Because like I weigh 150, like I'm not big. So like once you do something like that, it's sort of like, this guy's this guy's kinky. What the hell are we gonna do with him? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it's just sort of like you get to decide for yourself in a way.